Then we move on to the Karrion Kross vignette, which is about time because he's kind of been doing the exact same thing where he's like floating in the abyss. And
jobbing everybody.
I know. So at least it looks like they're trying to put in some effort with him again. Whether or not it goes anywhere, I don't know. But I thought this video was really interesting. And it looks like they are going to be making a new faction. Or at least maybe Karrion will have a manager. I don't think he needs a manager.
It's Scarlet.
No, I know,
I
but
just had a brain blast too. That was where my eyes went.
Well, because if you were watching the video and people were slowing it down and trying to like look into the background of the video, kind of similarly to how people were trying to figure out Bray Wyatt's like videos, it looks like there's a shadow of Paul Ellering, who has been around. I mean, I think he was like in the background of a segment at NXT a week or two ago. But then also people noticed that there was like guys with masks on in the video as well. So that could be the Authors of Pain because they have been.
That's where my eyes went.
Yeah. So can you imagine a faction of Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Authors of Pain, and Paul? To me, until I see it, maybe that'll change my mind. But I feel like could be like amazing, especially because I wanted to see Karrion Kross involved in the Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt Six. Like I wanted to see that so bad. And since we're never going to see that, and he basically confirmed that he was going to be a part of it, this feels like another, not the same, but it feels like similar to what we may have been able to see,
Oh, 1,000%. We're going to see Karrion Kross get built up really well. And this is where the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering can do something. They've been teased for a while that they're actually in-house internally. And Karrion Kross needs that. Yes, Scarlett. I mean, I said it. I think I just said it 10 seconds ago that he doesn't, Scarlett is his manager. But imagine if he had a group with, the old wise mind of Paul Ellering, the brute force of the Authors of Pain, and then you have your arm candy in Scarlett. That's building up a future world champion. That is an easy way to build up a future world champion.
Yeah. And you've only heard good things about Karrion. Like I've seen people come out and talk about him and how like he's such a good worker and he's so nice and he's down for whatever. And I've said that I would hate to see him get the same treatment basically as like Baron Corbin, because it does feel like a wasted talent that they just cannot figure out like the right path to go on. And I feel like that was basically what we were seeing from him, right? And so I'm glad that they're finally doing something, because his initial return was hyped. Like he was going after Drew McIntyre. It was like possibly going to be going after Roman. Like it seemed like they had huge plans for him, and then they completely dropped the ball. Like I don't even know what happened or why it happened, but then he had these random feuds and whatever. And so this feels like it's giving him a direction, because he's such a good talker. And
so good.
His entrance is incredible. And I feel like his character is really interesting, and there's no one else on the roster right now that has anything even remotely similar. So I feel like that automatically creates an open spot for him. And now it's just like, okay, it's not just him that has to go like, full into it. They have to also book accordingly to get people to give a shit about him, because that's part of the problem. It's not that he lacks talent. It's just that people are just like, they didn't care about him one way or the other.
He needs direction and a spot on the show. And I think in both senses, he hasn't had that. And then the spot in the show sense, he hasn't had it because it's been out. I mean, there's other things that need to be put on over him, and you're not totally out on him. We want to see him. So it's like, okay, all right. So it's there. We just need to find that spot for you. And there just hasn't been there.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see, because maybe they might put a little bit more effort into this. If it does involve Paul and the Authors of Pain, maybe that'll give them more motivation to try and make this work, because it's not just Karrion and Scarlett. It's like like careers on the line. Like it's going to be multiple dudes that you need
Mhm.
to try and make people care about. So I'm interested. I think it has a potential to be cool.